Welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode, and today I'm going to quickly take a look at our little sorting sieving system here. We've got this running now, and I just wanted to show you briefly what we've got down here. We've got a number of water wheels. You can see this thing is turning at -17, basically double that for the number of water wheels that we've got, and it's going all the way back there. And you can see as it's actually getting closer to that end, it's getting a lot faster, and it's getting obviously slower at this end. So it multiplies up, well, adds really, not multiplies, and it gets to this end and it's really not too bad, and I think that's fine for now. We can always create more later. I've then basically got something that can sieve fairly decently fast and put a vacuum hopper here. Before I actually just use this so long term, I just wanted to quickly grab those back and grab this underneath. I've also just got a crate down here that's basically providing stuff into our auto sifter, which then sends it up there to be sifted. But I want to just upgrade this, and it's really simple to upgrade these, so we may as well just do that. And I need to eat because I have been well, using my my dagger of sacrificial dagger, I'll get that the right way around one of these days, to basically upgrade some things. We'll come back to that in a second, which I do need this stone, so we'll just get that going as well. So I just want to upgrade this logistical transport to the next tier. That's quite simple to do with a very, very cheap investment. You can also get, I think, the next tier up from that if you really wanted it. I'm not sure whether I'm going to need it, but this basically doubles the speed, and the pump rate is basically a lot higher. So that's fine. We're going to use that in a second. In the meantime, I'm also going to just upgrade these slates that we got. So I got slates by using blood magic, as I demonstrated a couple of episodes ago, and we should be able to convert these into blank runes, 8 of them. And that gets us the sort of first upgrade to our altar, if I remember rightly, so we need to just put those down. We'll go and put those over here, and we do need to just basically put them down in a ring form. So having them like this is going to be perfectly fine. Later we will upgrade them to be the non-blank version, but for now this will get us what we need. Now, do I remember how to actually get how to get the altar upgraded? I think it may already be automatically upgraded. We'll soon find out, because we're going to need to create the other type of dagger, the dagger of sacrifice. So dagger of sacrifice, helps if I can actually spell all of that, of sacrifice, that one. So we need a thaumium sword, which I've made previously with Thorncraft, obviously. We need 3,000 life points in a tier 2 altar, and I never remember if the first one is tier 1 or tier 0, so we'll soon find out. This can hold 10,000 millibuckets, however, so I'm going to need to load this up with a little bit more life points, shall we call them. In fact, why aren't you actually supplying said life points? You are, I just wasn't close enough. Oh dear. Okay, so I will just stand here and use up my life. 3,000, was it 3,000 in that? I think it was. Yep. So now I just need the thaumium sword and a bit of a bit more food. I'm going to switch away from using my own life pretty soon now. So let's just get the sword. Yep, there it is. That's going to do just fine. And let's see whether this will actually work. In the meantime, however, I'm just going to sleep through the night, and then we'll reset up our transporter pipe, or whatever you actually want to call it, the transporter for our sieves, just the way it was before. So again, off the back of that and into this storage drawer network. You see, I've not really locked it down at the moment, but it will start generating stuff for us very, very quickly. So let's just put that in there. And that's going to be fine, I think, although we may need to... Let me just put something in here. Will you automatically pull? You will not, so we just want our configurator. And there we go. That's exactly what we want. Basically pulling it out of the vacuum hopper. I can take that back out there, and everything is looking pretty nice. Is that sort of slight normal bump mapping, sort of normal mapping that you get on the front of these? They're just suspended slightly. They look quite nice when that happens. Anyway, getting distracted. Just put the other one down here. Logistical transporter. And that side is going to pull. And then we can just put in gravel into here. I'm not going to gravel on me, but I do have some in the system. And then all we need to really do is move over our stonework factory over to there and supply it with some power. At that point, it just becomes, as well, as long as you've got power, and if we use the solar power, we can get quite a lot of things going here. So let's just put in these. Okay. And you'll see how fast this is going. So there it goes. Half of these is, well, roughly half are diamond. The other half are iron stiffened meshes. And you can see they're pretty fast as is. I'm going to get pulled into the vacuum hopper, which is going to get pulled through to here. Now, I could go with compacting drawers to automatically compact each of these, and that is one option. I just haven't made them yet, and those were actually simpler to make, but we'll probably move across to those at the very least, and we'll see from there. Let's get rid of that egg for a second, and let's go and see if we can go make our blood altar. Hopefully you are now a tier 2, if I remember right, but you never know. So off that goes, and hopefully you can see it's just underneath there. I don't need to actually look at it. I can just see whether it actually stops using the life essence. And oh, there it goes. Dagger of Sacrifice. Good. Did I get a... Oh, I did get a chest reward. Yes. Good. And what do we actually get for that loot chest? We got a lapidary calibration numismatic dynamo specialization. Now, while that is a mouthful, that is actually quite useful. Yeah, you can throw, if you can generate any kind of gemstone, you can throw gemstones in and have it automatically provide power. So if you can make emeralds automatically, you can get good power. I think diamonds work as well, but it's been a while. It was in my Omni factory when I last used those kind of approaches. But that means now that this thing should take blood from these, which means I can use this and well, are you going to feed in? You're not actually working. I thought it just worked automatically. Maybe it is. I assume it's linked. Anyway. I need to read the sanguine scientem. Scientem? Yes, scientem. Okay, back in a second. Okay, is it a ranged thing? Let's just... No. Oh, chickens, honestly. Is it a ranged thing? Let's grab a couple of adult chickens here, and that one's escaping as well. Let's put you in here for a second. You're on 164, and if I just click you, it's not accepting chickens. It is just not having them. Fine. Can we get anything else that's passive? The other option is to go for active mobs, and I won't use this chicken farm at all. It's been very useful for the pink slime, but everything else not so much. So why don't we just take this out of the way, and let's get these moved across, and let's move them across into our sort of non-passive farm. All of this needs to be improved, and we will basically set everything back up here and see if this actually gets us some life points. So to test that theory, well, we've got this set up. We've got it up here, and I've replaced the stone floor with earth, and I'm sure you know what's about to happen. If you don't, you need to play more modded Minecraft. So we're going to have a cursed earth farm here. We have artificial light. Make sure that's on when you actually start this thing up, because you're going to need that to control things. Let's try this as is. So there it is. Drop of evil. Got that from the nether. From a wither skeleton, just with our super manulin emeradic enderium shuriken, and now this thing should basically be able to send stuff into the center, but we're going to need to put our vector plates back down to make sure that happens. This is why you want to leave the lights on, because now I'm just going to want to basically configure this. To send everything into the center. So I think I'm going to bring it all from here towards the middle, and from the back towards the middle, and then into the sides, and everything should just drop down that way. And there we are, last glimpse of the vector plated cursed earth farm, and that's fully, well, it's ready to be fully dark in there. As soon as I turn this off at the top, everything should go dark, and everything should start dropping down into the area below, which we can then go and potentially sacrifice. So let's see how that goes, and let's just head down. See things already starting to spawn, or you can hear them. And you can see lots of, well, yeah, lots of stuff falling down here. Yep. That's going to be pretty full, so why don't we just start stabbing stuff? Have you got some life essence? You do. Although I think that's feeding into the basically the buffer tank. So I'm just going to keep on doing this, and we'll see whether that actually serves to get everything we need. So because I'm getting some quite inconsistent results here, I'm not really getting a lot of blood going in. What I think is this whole thing is, remember, it's built to be a mob farm primarily. So it's damaging things a lot as they actually come down, which means when I actually hit them with the Dagger of Sacrifice, I'm not really getting much blood out of them. So yeah, why don't we just try and stop that by putting some water on the inside, and that should hopefully reset the fall damage. And I've got lots and lots and lots of just loot I need to get rid of. But other than that, we should be ready to turn this back on again, and let's see if this actually solves the problem. Let me just get rid of a few of these. I don't need the various pieces of armor, although we can make a powered anvil and repair that armor up if we actually wanted to actually get it in the future. For example, nanosuit body armor. I've already got one here, but we should be able to use a powered anvil. Can I make a powered anvil in this pack? I really hope so. Looks like we can. Powered anvil. And it's going to need dense obsidian plates, item repairers, which looks achievable apart from the lack of ender pearls. Yeah, everything else is fine. So that's possible to make if you want to actually make that, assuming you have some ender pearls. I do not just yet. So let me just go up here and turn this thing on. I'm going to need wireless redstone sooner or later to do this. It's going to be a little bit annoying. Let's turn everything on. Everything should rapidly start spawning. And let's head down and see if we get some life points now. So everything is starting to splash down, and there we are, 0. So let's see if this actually helps. Let's just get some of you. Yep, we're getting some points. So to enhance this still further, what you could do is, if you wanted this to be dedicated for blood magic, and I just need to turn this back off again while I talk. If you want this to be dedicated to blood magic, you could stop this from being a mob farm just by putting some water partway down and having that reset the fall damage. And then from that, you could funnel them. For example, here we could put vector plates in the bottom area and bring them all to just one common point. For example, we could put a hole in the middle and have everything directed towards the middle, and then drop down to a similar kind of thing that I had with the chicken farm, where you have a small area underneath that you can actually just hit things with, and that seems to be pretty ideal, I've got to say. Ooh, testing our shuriken. Get away from me now! And there's some of our ender pearls that I actually needed for, yeah, that anvil. Anyway, aside from that, I'm going to clean this up, and then I think we're going to get to sort of tidying this area into a generic blood magic area. Okay, just so I can convert this back to a mob farm whenever I like, I've got these vector plates here, which reduce a 3x3 into a 2x2. And then further down, I've got the opposite vector plates down there that, again, represent a small drop each way, but there's only one gap right in the middle that can fall straight through all the way to the bottom. And if we just pop off here for a second, we'll just drop off there, and drop off here. And then what I'm going to do on this side, they're going to come back onto a 2x2 on this side. The reason why I want 2x2 is purely spiders. If you have a 2x2, they can actually fall down and we can use them. If you use a 3x3, they can, but a 1x1, they can't. And because I can't control what's up there, what's spawning, it's cursed earth, remember, everything will spawn. We are going to want to basically limit that as much as possible to, allow as much as that's possible through, so we can actually use it for our blood supply. So down here we have some cobblestone slabs, and we should be able to use those to get that running. Let's get those out of the way, and then we should just be able to knock one of these through like this, and then put more slabs down. And let me just actually get that hole filled in. And then that hopefully should be an area where the mobs cannot see me whatsoever. Otherwise this could be quite explosive, but I can actually see them. And indeed we've got basically a blood sort of, well, not automation, but an automation is going to be shortly. Let me just put some torches down here. And the automation side of things, we will be doing, well, we could do with some filtering options, particularly if we can get things to be fed one at a time. However, in the meantime, we can filter stuff out of this bottom of the blood altar. But usually what tends to happen is we tend to have something up here filtering stuff in and out. So, of course, we have a couple of storage crates here, and we can set up something like that for now. If I just put down some transporter, basically connectors. Okay, and this is going to go out this side. It's going to go out this side. Okay, and I need some way of basically saying only one item is allowed to be pulled out at a time. Not sure if that's possible with the configurator and mechanism stuff. This doesn't really give me any indication whether that's actually possible or not. I can say you have to push, pull, none. None doesn't actually help me. Let's put that back. But push or pull will work fine, and I'll just set that to pull for argument's sake. And set this to pull as well. What should happen here is if it's just working like you normally expect, it's just going to go in and straight back out again. What we actually want is to have filters, at least on this, to only accept slates. And on this one, it will basically be taking in living rock, and we want it to feed in one at a time. We may not be able to do this side, so I may have to feed in this manually for now. Anyway, why don't we turn this on and let's see if, aside from the noise, what in fact we can do for the noise is we can go and add that to our super sound muffler. So let's just go and turn this thing on and let's see how well it goes. Off they go and down they go, hopefully. Yep, and they are all there. So let me just go to the super sound muffler while they're making noise and let's configure them. So add something to the blacklist, and we want the zombie. Yep. Add recent skeleton step. Add recent zombie step. Add recent creeper herd. Yep, and we're just going to keep on adding them until I've got them all in there. So that worked really remarkably quite well. I've put in some more water in here just to save against creeper explosions, just in case that is a thing. There are creepers in there. They do explode. They do throw you back, but they don't destroy the blocks around, which is nice. I don't think there's any destroyed blocks around there. Nope, there is not. So, yep, everything works here. And as you can see, our supply of blood, well, when I actually managed to get myself a platform I can stand on. Let me just get that done now. Yeah, so a platform I can stand on. One, I'm going to need to get rid of a lot of loot. So we need some solution for storing that. But if you have a look there, 10,000 out of 10,000. Our blood altar got a whole lot better. But we shouldn't stop quite here yet because there's a few other things we can do. One, this still functions perfectly well as a manual mob farm. In particular for your shuriken. You see this is now up to Grandmaster. And I have 2 more modifiers to play with, so that's going to be fun. In the meantime, however, we're going to want to basically stop me having to use these chests, these crates as temporary storage for just random stuff and get this automatically collected. So you'll see right here, I've got this side of the things. This is the back side here. If we just grab that for a second, we can just step on. And if I just remove this, I've got the mob farm off at the moment, so it should be perfectly safe to do this. Here's my interior, just so you get an idea, and there it is going back up to the top. So from here, what I think we're going to do is just pop down another vacuum hopper after I've been getting a few of those sorted out. And let's just get that going there, and hopefully that's going to be just fine. So if we just get a gold chest on the outside, we can't make a diamond chest just yet. That needs a diamond gear, which we can't make. But we should just be able to output this to this side, and everything should just output to this gold chest. And from here, we can decide where we actually want this. And it doesn't need to be anywhere specific, but it's fine for the moment. In particular, we can just send it down via logistical transporter into some kind of system. What we really want to do with this, I think, is probably set up some kind of filtering system. We want to set it up, if possible, so that anything we don't approve of can just go straight into the bin. And you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff that you might want here, at least you might want one of. Let's just, when I stop bouncing. Yeah, so there's things like the flux infused chest plate, very handy item. I think there might be even a sort of an upgrade to that for a jetpack. More nanosuit leggings, a nanosuit helmet, which I don't already have, so that's good. I may have some of these, and let's just grab the nanosuit leggings. Are any of these upgraded? No. Okay, so we'll just take the leggings themselves. And that's that one done. Has this got anything upgraded? No, and this needs charging for that to actually work as well. See, the durability is also down on those, so we need to basically charge them. And we have a system already over there for doing that. So why don't we just go and see once I get through the night. Remember rightly, these get charged extremely quickly and deplete all of your available power, but I think we have that a fair amount of power in that battery, so let's go and see how well this does for charging. Where's our battery? Here it is. And there is our nice solar panel. So why don't I just take out this for a second and pop you in there. And yep, that's taking all my power. Told you charge extremely quickly. But you'll see at the very bottom left there, the armor is building up, and that's much better than we had before. So I'm quite happy with that. And indeed, if I just put some armor in here, it's building up. Some power in there, I should say. That should show up. Yep, you can see that's even better. But of course, we do need to actually charge this, and that's where we want to build that powered anvil. But in the meantime, this does allow us to just quickly test this out. So here we have our sort of aquatic manual mob farm. We have our blood altar here, so we can just dump those for now and put one in, and that should start basically crafting. Now, of course, because this thing has more blood in it, you can craft more than one at once if you do want to add them. Each one, if you look, is going to take 1,000, so we can just put in obviously 9 at once, but let's just put in 7 at once. I'm not sure if you can shift click them in or if I can add them. I think we may have to add them by the transporter system otherwise, and that's going to work otherwise. So yeah, let's turn this back on and let's see how this does with automatic loot collection. And I want to see if it's actually going to be fast enough really to handle that. There we go. And I've turned all the sounds off so you can hardly hear anything, which is good by me. And there it is, basically needing to be resupplied at the bottom. So we need to use our dagger of sacrifice. Okay, 6,000. 7,000. So we are able to keep ahead of the crafting quite easily. I do like that, and obviously there's a lot of stuff here. And yeah, let's get that going, figure this out, and then let's just go and take a quick look at how is this chest doing. Yeah, all the stuff we're expecting is going into there, which is pretty good. And we can just cherry pick whatever we want out of there. What you could do is just create a storage drawer controller and then basically lock it down and then put the stuff you want in the storage drawer controller, and anything you don't just stays in the chest, and eventually it'll fill up, dump them all into a trash can, and eventually you'll get all the things you actually want from drops. And here's how we level our shuriken. And that is our shuriken, the 6th of a level. It was on, I think, maybe 400, so maybe 10th of a level. But you can imagine this is going to level, even at Grandmaster, really quite fast. You can just leave it here with your right mouse button held down if you really want to. Okay, so here is the logistical sorter. This is Mechanism's option for basically filtering stuff in and out. And what I thought we'd do is see whether it'll actually work. This looks like it's going to need power, however, unfortunately. But otherwise, in here there is a nice option. Single. Sends a single item instead of a whole stack each time. Overrides min max set in item stack filters. So if we create a new filter item stack, we can then say, I want blank slates. The other thing we got is living rock here, so I guess we can do that. Whoop, I need to do that. Let's try that again. Item stack, blank slates. And we can just save this. We can say, you know what, just set this to maximum of 1, okay? And then we'll set a new filter as well, and let's set item stack. And this time, we're just going to send living rock and a maximum, again, of 1, okay? So both of those should only move 1 at a time, which is really going to help. This is going to not be much of a problem now, and let's see if this actually will work. We're going to need some power hooked up to this. So I'm going to need to borrow my chicken farm stuff, I think, and maybe get some way of getting sunlight to it, and yeah, we'll see if this will actually work. And does this actually have a configurator option? Configurator? No, it doesn't look like it does. Fine, let's bring back some daylight and see if we can get some power on the subject. My mistake, we don't need any power whatsoever, that's good. We can just use the logistical sorters in the simplest possible setup here, which is basically to connect one from here to here and one from here to here. Note that the green side indicates the output side, it seems, on these. So on here, I've set up this item filter, basically set up a maximum of 1. Size mode, no effect, single item mode is turned on. Yeah, I've got this overriding, so that should be fine. And on this side, we don't really care about single item mode. Whatever's in there being pulled out is fine. This one is set to the blank slate. So let's just grab the blank slates out of here. I've got 16 living rock there, and we've got 2,000 inside. So if I just put 2 in here, if single item mode is off, it should only take 1 at a time. And if it's failing, then, well, it's failing. There it goes. So it did, but it didn't wait. That's the thing. It's transferring them all across. That's not really much of a problem. You're going to filter out of here. Yep, and there it goes immediately. So that's going to work fine. If it's going to do that, we may as well not have single item mode on at all and turn size mode off. And basically just put in however many we want to do at once in here. For example, this is going to have 10,000 millibucket current capacity, so we can do 10 at once. So if I just turn everything back on again, the farm that is, we should be able to just run 10 processing at 10 slates at once. Turn you off. Okay, and pop down. Nice and quiet now that my super sound muffler is taking effect. And there's lots of things here, so off I am to just basically get rid of all of you. How fast is that going up? Well, 2,000. That's not going to be too bad at all. We will basically improve the speed of this quite a lot. All of these blank runes can be replaced with runes of sacrifice, for instance, and that gets more blood from our creatures up there into the tank down here. And there we go, full again, and we'll just put 10 in there, and it's just going to do 10 at once, which is going to go straight in, and they should immediately get taken out of the side. Now remember, if you do leave them in, or if you change your filters, you can set them to be reinforced slate, because we're now on a tier 2 altar. If you leave them in there, it'll take like another 2,000 blood, but once that happens, it will then basically turn them into reinforced slate. So if I just keep on just sacrificing stuff while everything gets crafted, you'll see that that will continue to go up, or at least be counteracted, and we should get with a bunch of runes. The runes, of course, are going to be useful, well, the slates, but they're going to be turned into runes. The runes are going to be useful to get to tier 3, etc. Oh, and that's one of the explosions. Doesn't matter, because there's a nice amount of water there absorbing the damage. Or I've got mob griefing on one of the two. Both of them should actually take effect, and that will be done anytime soon. So there we go, we have a whole bunch of slates, and I got 27 of them to do with what we like. So that's our sort of starting blood magic area done for today, I think. So turn this mob farm into a custom mob farm. You can do whatever you like with it at that point. You've got enough XP to be getting on with. And in the meantime, we've got enough to start off with blood magic. So from here, what we're going to be doing is getting rid of frogs, leveling up our shuriken a little bit more. And that is now to halfway to the next level. And, oh, Enderman. Yep, he's dead. I love this shuriken now. It's great. Okay, so and we get some more ender pearls, I assume. Yep, some more ender pearls. So from here, next episode, we will get on to tier 3 and tier 4 altars at some point. For a start off, I want to just empty these out between the episodes. I will set up another storage door controller, just like the sifting setup that we've got over back near the base. And we'll have like the one over there. We'll have the same thing over there, but we'll have it drawing out the common stuff, and we'll get to the uncommon stuff later. This is working fine with this essence. I could do it with it being faster and then having storage drawers set up to take all of this essence. We don't have any real ROF processing yet because we don't have the crystals. They are gated in the pack quite severely. But the other way of doing it is to set up a wither farm, get this premium from the wither, then craft it back down. That will craft down easily enough. But that means getting to the wither, which you're probably going to want the creative flight for. How bad is that? I keep on forgetting how bad creative or how hard creative flight is. And yeah, that's how hard it is. So the squid ring, some ethereal glass, which is divided by diamond, I assume. Yeah, it's divided by diamond. If you don't know what that is, that's fun and games. We've got some other bits and pieces for the elytra. And the ender star, I think, is the main thing there. And of course, that's going to require a dragon kill. And it's going to require a wither kill. So we've got to get both of those down. Probably with our flying squid. I don't think the ender dragon's actually going to be too hard. It's mainly the wither that's going to be the problem, because I don't have creative flight, so I have to go and hit that with my melee weapons at some point. So I could do with an ultimate melee weapon that is much better than this thing at some point, but I'll leave that for another day. For now, we've got a better blood magic setup, we've got a sifting setup, and now all we need to do is really move that material stonework factory underneath there, give it some power with an extra solar generator or something, and it should just start generating resources for us quite nicely and automatically. How much of this have we got? We've got 2.5 stacks of the iron ore pieces, but you got to divide that by 4. So I'm probably going to get these into compacting drawers as well once I craft those, and I'll do that off camera as well. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share as you normally would, click on the bell if you want notifications for more episodes, and we'll see you next time for some more Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. As always, guys, thanks for watching.